Genesis 27 contains a dramatic story of Isaac, Rebekah, Jacob, and Esau, a narrative centered around the stealing of the family blessing. While it is an ancient historical account, it serves as a powerful mirror for human nature, offering profound spiritual and practical lessons for our lives today. Here are the core applicable lessons from this chapter. 1. The destructive power of deceit. Jacob and Rebekah conspired to lie to Isaac, who was blind and vulnerable. Jacob repeatedly lied to his father's face, even bringing God's name into the deception. "The Lord your God gave me success." Daily application. The ends do not justify the means. Deceit might yield temporary, short-term success, but it fractures trust and relationships. Because of this lie, the family was torn apart. Jacob had to flee for his life, and Rebekah never saw her favorite son again. 2. Trusting God's timing versus forcing outcomes. Before Jacob and Esau were even born, God told Rebekah that the older would serve the younger. Genesis 25:23. The blessing was already meant for Jacob. However, Rebekah and Jacob panicked and took matters into their own hands through manipulation. Daily application. When we know what is right or what has been promised, we must wait on the right timing rather than forcing the outcome through unethical means. Trying to help God out through manipulation usually introduces unnecessary pain and complication into our lives. 3. The danger of favoritism. The dysfunction in this chapter is rooted in earlier verses. Isaac loved Esau, but Rebekah loved Jacob. This parental favoritism created a deeply competitive, toxic environment that pitted brother against brother and husband against wife. Daily application. Whether in parenting, friendships, or the workplace, playing favorites breeds resentment. We must strive to love and treat people equitably, recognizing the unique value of each person rather than creating unnecessary rivalries. 4. The trap of spiritual blindness. Isaac was physically blind, but the text suggests he was spiritually blind as well. He wanted to bless Esau, ignoring God's earlier prophecy and Esau's own reckless behavior, selling his birthright and marrying pagan wives. Isaac's physical appetites, his love for Esau's wild game, clouded his spiritual judgment. Daily application. We need to be careful that our personal preferences, stubbornness, our physical appetites don't blind us to what is right. We must seek spiritual discernment rather than just doing what feels good or comfortable in the moment. 5. The weight of bitterness. When Esau discovers the betrayal, his grief turns immediately to hatred and a plot for murder. Genesis 27:41. He becomes consumed by a grudge. Daily application. Being wronged is deeply painful, but letting that pain turn into a root of bitterness and revenge destroys our own peace. We are called to process our grief without letting it turn into destructive hatred. Key takeaway. God's purposes ultimately prevailed, but the human scheming in this chapter left scars. The story invites us to choose integrity over manipulation, trust over anxiety, and unity over favoritism.